What's going on, everybody? It's ETA Prime back here again. Today we're going to be taking a look at the upcoming MoreFine S500 mini PC. Now this thing is definitely packing the most powerful CPU that I've seen in this form factor, because this is actually rocking an Intel i9-12900HK. So we've got 14 cores, 20 threads, up to 5 GHz, and when it comes to CPU performance, this thing can definitely throw down. And it looks like they're also going to be offering one with the i9-12900H, but the version we're taking a look at in this video is their highest end with that HK. As you can see, we've still got a very small form factor PC here, coming in at 5.9 inches by 2.5 inches tall, and really a lot of the height here comes from the cooler they're using with this i9 CPU. If you're familiar with these Intel Alder Lake CPUs, you know they can definitely use some power, but this one here out of the box is set at 65 watts, and it does a great job like that, but you can use Intel tuning utility to bring it up, and the cooler here does have more than enough room for a little more wattage. So I'm working with a prototype here, but it does support a 2.5 inch drive in the top lid, and there is a debate on what wattage power supply they're going to be sending, either 145 or 180, but through my testing we haven't pulled up to 145 out of this thing, so I think that would be fine. When it comes to I/O, up front here we've got two full-size USB 3.2 ports and a full-function 3.2 USB Type-C, so this will support video out. So all in, we can connect 3 displays to this, running them all at 4K 60, because around the rear here, we've got a full-size HDMI 2.1 port and a full-size display port. Now, as for the other I/O, we've got 2 USB 2.0 ports back here, 2 more USB 3.2 ports, and we've also got dual Ethernet. So one of these is 2.5, the other one is gig, but I've just been plugged into the 2.5 port here, and it functions just fine. We also get Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2 with this unit. When it comes to upgrading the RAM and storage, super easy to get in here. At the top, we've got 2 screws on the rear, and that top plate's going to come right off. We can easily access that NVMe M.2 slot and the RAM. It uses SODIMM RAM. I'm running in dual channel right here. And if you did want to add a 2.5 inch drive, it's going to mount right here in the lid. Comes with the cabling and mounting hardware right in the box. We've also got another M.2 NVMe slot right here on the bottom. Now this is a little more to get to, it's just 4 screws instead of 2, but we've got access to that other M.2 slot, so we can actually add a ton of storage to this mini PC. Now as you can see, the cooler is a blower style. It's using a copper cooler on that 12900HK, and it does make a little bit of noise, but not as much as some of the other mini PCs that I've seen, and I really think it comes down to the volume of air this can move at a lower RPM. With some of the other mini PCs, it's a much thinner blower style fan, so it needs to spin up much faster to move as much air as this thing can. Before we jump into testing, I'll give you a quick rundown on the specs here. For the CPU, we've got that Intel i9-12900HK. 14 cores, 20 threads, with a max turbo clock up to 5 GHz on this thing. When it comes to the GPU, we've got built-in Iris Xe graphics. This will support up to 64 GB of DDR4 running at 3200 MHz. Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2, and the unit I have here is running Windows 11, but you could always install Linux on it if you want. So I've actually been testing this PC out for about a week and a half. This is a prototype unit before they launched their Indiegogo, and so far performance is great. I mean, with that 14 core Alder Lake CPU, anything that needs CPU power, it's